as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, New Mexico could potentially clinch a home playoff game tonight if another result goes their way, that being a Sacramento loss. Business to take care of here tonight first.
Yeah, definitely business to take care of. And what an atmosphere there is today. We've just walked the field a little bit. It is absolutely electric out here tonight.
Let's go ahead and jump right into it here with our players to watch, brought to you by NM Solar Group. For New Mexico, we're going to be keeping an eye on the 25-year-old Albuquerque native. It's Sergio Rivas.
Yeah, Sergio Rivas, he struggled a little bit going in and out of the team with injuries this year, but Wednesday night, he was the spark at halftime that really set New Mexico United on the way to the really, really important win against Los Dos. So, New Mexico United, is he getting fit at the right time going into the playoffs?
On the other side, for Switchbacks, it's their goal-scoring machine, fresh off a hat trick in his last outing. It's Michi Galina.
Yeah, Michi Galina, obviously some eyebrows raised when Haji Barry left for Egypt, but cometh the hour, cometh the man. He stepped in there, hat trick, as you said in the last game. Big shoes to fill.
It's blackout night here at the lab, a big one on tap. We're going to step aside. We'll have lineups and kickoff when we return.
The Red or Green Savings Event. Shop hot buys and cool deals store-wide on the largest selection of in-stock furniture and mattresses in New Mexico. Save big on dining room, bedroom, living room, rugs, and more, like this comfy recliner. Your choice, brown or gray. Buy one, get one free. Just $6.99. We're New Mexico proud.
You always get the best for less at American Home Furniture and Mattress.
Straight down into the core of the earth, 700 feet beneath the surface, stalagmites and stalactites, million-year-old all-stars in a natural stadium, carved by water, populated by bats, and marveled by all. Carlsbad Caverns National Park.
Game time.
Welcome back to the lab. Tonight's match presented by the New Mexico Chamber of Commerce, the voice of New Mexico business. Chris, let's go ahead and just have a look here at the starting lineups presented by Michelob Ultra. Starting first with New Mexico, wholesale changes for Zach Prince. 7 changes from the side that we saw just 4 nights ago on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and there's a few players who maybe feel like they earned some more time basically over the season. So looking to get back in the manager's thoughts. Daniel Bruce, obviously Rivas just came back and made a huge impact on Wednesday. Sam Hamilton's been kind of in and out of the team the last couple of weeks, last month really as well. So yeah, so it's interesting to see right now. There's a lot of players on the field with points to prove.
Out for the visitors here, this is Switchbacks. This is how Brendan Burke is selecting his side here today. Unlike New Mexico, just 1 change for Switchbacks, that being Elvis Amo getting the start.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit briefly about obviously Haji Berry is the big news for Colorado Switchbacks, losing him, but this high-powered offense, and even without Haji Berry, a lot of goals in that side facing up against New Mexico United tonight.
Let's get to our keys to the game here, presented by Garcia Automotive Group here for New Mexico. Keep the momentum rolling, connect to forwards in front of goal, and shut down the Springs wing threat. And now coming up next, we've got our injury report presented by Ben Sherman Law. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. And I'm sure, Chris, for New Mexico fans, this is a very welcome sight. Just one name listed. Unfortunately for them, it's Nico Brett, but that list getting smaller and smaller as the weeks go on. These two teams, familiar opponents, playing it. This is their 12th all-time regular season meeting between New Mexico and Switchbacks, and we're underway here at the lab. It's blackout night, 14,000 plus expected here. As Elvis Amo quickly gets things started, Yearwood has to come up with a block for New Mexico. Yearwood, one of the changes, getting the start there at the left back instead of the captain, Josh Suggs, as Daniel Bruce pokes one forward for the German Jerome Kiesewetter. And Caldwell just sends that one long. Jeff Caldwell out of North Carolina, 19th overall selection in the 2018 MLS Super Draft. He's called right into action immediately. Going to go back to Caldwell here. Sawahi comes to send it away. Enriquez plays this one forward. Alex Tambakis all over it. Goes back to Sawahi, the Comoros international. As Mahoney slips. Rivas looking to get it back from Christian Nava, and unfortunately the teenager unable to connect with his Albuquerque native, Sergio Rivas. So Chris, expecting over 14,000 here tonight at the lab. What may potentially be the largest crowd here for New Mexico this season. We got to give a shout out to the Colorado Springs fans that made the trip down I-25. So you see occupying a half section of the stadium. Always good to see some traveling fans here at the lab.
No, and it is. It's the largest contingent that we've seen so far this year. They did manage to hurl some abuse at me on my way in. So, always appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, you can always tell how busy the lab is going to be by how packed the berm is. And it's pretty busy out there. So yeah, it's going to be, like I said, we walked the field pre-game. The atmosphere was electric, and it was maybe a third full at that point, maybe a half full at most. And yeah, it's absolutely electric out here tonight.
Got some score updates going on here for you in the top right corner. RGV on top of Monterey Bay, 1-0, 34 minutes in. Monterey Bay picking up a red card early in that match. Orange County beating San Antonio early on as well, 1-0. It makes its way all the way back to Caldwell. Mahoney now, the captain of this Switchback side, the 27-year-old. Moves it over to Hodge. Looking for the run of Elvis Amo, and Ryden sees it back to Tambakis. This is Rashid Tete, the Ghanaian. Back to Sawahi. Former Lou City man, Alexi Sawahi, and this finds Kiesewetter in the channel. Waiting for help on the far side, he has Daniel Bruce. Finds Christian Nava instead. Nava, heavy touch, and has it poked away. Back to Hamilton, who spent some time in this system, did Sam Hamilton. Made 18 appearances for Switchbacks during the 2018 USL Championship season. You'll see that was right before Hamilton making the drive right down to Albuquerque, where he's been with the Black and Yellow since 2019.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting start. I mean, no real chances so far. Obviously, very early on here, first 5 minutes, but a pretty energetic start. Like I said, there's a bunch of players, especially for New Mexico United, with Kiesewetter, just coming back from a long-term injury. Nava, great to see him back out on the pitch as well. Daniel Bruce back out on the pitch. Sam Hamilton, all these players. Rashid Tete, his first start for a while. All these players vying to start that first game. Obviously, everyone waiting to see who that first game is going to be against.
That is Mishi Galina. Goes to ground off the touch, turns it over. Able to get it off of Christian Nava now. And what a challenge there from Christian Nava. Galina stays down near the center circle. New Mexico play on. You can see Galina on the far right side of your screen. He did momentarily. Now the official calling for a stoppage in play. Mishi Galina is down, but that's going to give us time for this 529 game update. Brought to you by the Education Plan New Mexico, state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. And Zach Prince having a word with his players during the break. And Mishi Galina on his feet. He's walking away and greeted by chants of Pobrecito from the lap.
I think it was just more of a tackle that he didn't really see coming. Obviously, Nava had a bit of a heavy touch there, but worked really hard to win it back there.
This is our Coaches Spotlight, brought to you by PNM. This is Zach Prince. Guided the Black and Yellow to their highest point total in a single season in club history this year. Also the first time that the club has clinched a playoff berth prior to the final match day. Zach Prince, 2012 USL champion, Charleston.
I do remember that evening in 2019 when it wasn't even the final evening. It was after the final whistle when Colorado Switchbacks, I believe, were down to 10 men and pulled out a result which New Mexico United had beaten Las Vegas Lights, I believe. And it was after full-time whistle. The crowd stayed waiting to see how the result rolled in from Colorado, and that pushed them into the playoffs.
And New Mexico obviously already had their ticket punched into the postseason, but they're waiting to see exactly where they're going to be as Daniel Bruce draws the free kick. Anderson going to be called for the foul there. And it's our first Fiesta Auto Group free kick here in just the 8th minute.
Fun fact for Sebi Anderson tonight, I've watched 4 of his games, 4 of his professional games, and he's had 2 red cards, unfortunately for him. So he has a 50% record in games I've observed anyway.
Other half of our PNM Coaches Spotlight, that's Brendan Burke. He's been with Switchbacks since the beginning of last season. Previously played and managed Reading United. Also Switchbacks setting an all-time record this season as well. Daniel Bruce, Christian Nava standing over this free kick. Nava takes a touch. Bruce off to Nava now. He's got Kiesewetter if he wants to play it. Elects to keep it, does Nava. Cross goes in, and that's going to be dealt with by Edwards. Only as far as Michael Azira. Now back to Rashid Tete, and New Mexico will look to build once again. Enriquez plays it forward. Cam Lindley. Lindley playing it across for Elvis Amo, who connects. He's able to get around Bruce. Amo almost got around Tambakis as well. And eventually Tete clears.
Yeah, and Daniel Bruce, you could see the moment he realized he was in trouble there. Amo just took a brilliant first touch, which committed Daniel Bruce, and didn't quite have the legs, but just managed to get an arm in front of him and put him off enough. And, a little lunge there, which affected his stride, which meant that New Mexico United were going to deal with it, but that's not what Daniel Bruce wants to do. His danger is going the other direction, stretching his legs and stretching the field at the other end of the field. Good for Colorado Switchbacks if they're making Daniel Bruce defend that deep, though.
Sawahi looking for Daniel Bruce here near side. Offside flag goes up. have a feeling we might see another one of those or two this evening, especially with the speed that's possessed by both sides up top with Daniel Bruce for New Mexico and especially Mishi Galina and Elvis Amo for Switchbacks. Amo goes back to Lindley. Played forward by Edwards. Rivas, Daniel Bruce. This will be a throw in here for the home side. Kiesewetter did well to keep it in play. Chris just turns it over, and now he's going back the other way.
Yeah, it's just a little. It's not rusty, but it's just a little off right now, right? A little clunky because a lot of these players haven't necessarily played together, so still a little time to kind of work out who's running where and when, and how that movement of the front three, Kiesewetter, Nava, and Bruce is with Rivas just behind them is actually going to work.
Backus comes out to grab this, plays it forward for Hamilton. New Mexico looking to counter, but Kiesewetter is going to be flagged for offside. That's going to give us time to let you know that Select, celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's Choice, Player's Choice. So final regular season home match for New Mexico, Chris, as we mentioned, a win here tonight for the Black and Yellow and a Sac Republic loss to San Diego Loyal later this evening. And the Black and Yellow would host their first ever home playoff match in club history.
I believe against Sac Republic, right? I think
believe
that's the only thing that could happen.
That is right.
If it's either New Mexico United away or they host Sac Republic if those games go ahead. And obviously tonight, at the lab, there's the game will be over and the fireworks show for the fans and everything. And the fans still won't know at that point exactly what will be happening. So it'll be really interesting to see how that all unfolds.
13 minutes in here between these two. Crowd starting to file in. We were coming up about 10 minutes prior to kickoff, and there were still massive lines waiting to get into the lab. Here's Rivas, plays across in. Caldwell, sure-handed, reaches out and grabs it. Here's Enriquez. Jairo Enriquez. That one sent back by Sawahi. Way back to Mahoney. Anderson called for the foul again. He's got to be careful. That's already twice in the first 14 minutes for Anderson.
I'm not going to say it again, but yeah, no, I mean, it's let's say it's an interesting little thing at the start there. Sergio Rivas made a great run to the end line there. The one disappointing thing for New Mexico United is it was only Daniel Bruce to hit in the box, and Caldwell's a big goalkeeper. It has to be a pinpoint cross. That's no disrespect to Daniel Bruce, but he's not the tallest guy in the world, and it would have to be absolutely pinpoint accuracy to find him amongst the Switchbacks defenders plus the goalkeeper there. So New Mexico United getting into dangerous areas in terms of the wide areas and getting to the end line. Could do with getting a few more guys in the box.
Here's Enriquez. Jairo Enriquez, 3 goals in 11 appearances this season for Switchbacks. As Nava nipping at his heels there. Nava going down to track Hodge now. Here's Tristan Hodge. Up to Lindley. Enriquez plays the cross in, back post. And Elvis Amo just sent that one wide. Elvis Amo with the clear header in front of goal. And he's not going to miss very many opportunities like that.
Hamo's been a little lively. Had that one run against Daniel Bruce earlier on, and they're showing his aerial prowess there. And Mexico United again, just a little warning to make sure that they realise that they're not going to have it all their own way, and rightly so. Obviously, Colorado Switchbacks, a very, very prolific attacking outfit this year.
Enriquez and Hamilton getting into it off ball. Galena now has that cross attempt blocked, and Hamilton plays this one long. This header from Mahoney, and he's able to connect with Edwards. Kiesewetter chasing him down. New Mexico with the press, Chris. It's causing some issues here early on for Switchbacks.
Yeah, both teams playing on the front foot. Again, it's a midfield battle, right? It really is. It's a chess match right now. Both teams probing, but yeah, both teams trying to press and make sure that the other team knows that they're not going to be able to play out, without not being under duress there. So it's looking. We talked about it on Wednesday as well, trying to force the other team to make a mistake.
Score update for you, top right corner of your screen. RGV up 2-0 on Monterey Bay, 43 minutes in. We'll keep an eye on that one. As we mentioned, a red card shown to Monterey Bay early in that match. It was Hunter Gorski being shown red in the 5th minute. Monterey Bay going to be playing 85 plus minutes in that one. A man down. Here's Azira.
So obviously there's a long way to go, but if results stay as they are right now, obviously one game hasn't even kicked off yet, but if they did, New Mexico United would be playing Switchbacks in the first round of the playoffs, I believe.
So, if you're unfamiliar, top 7 clubs from each conference make it into the postseason. The first seed gets a bye. 2 will play 7, 3 plays 6, and 4 plays 5 on both sides. After that first round, they reseed. Highest remaining seed will play the lowest remaining seed, and so on. So that's how the postseason is going on this year. The USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense as we get a quick temperature check in here at the lab. 70 degrees, 28% humidity, Chris. It's a gorgeous fall evening.
Nothing better. This time of year in Albuquerque, obviously a couple of weeks ago we had a little bit of an issue, but that's called Balloon Fiesta. Unfortunately, you can almost write it on the calendar when it's going to rain, but it's a beautiful evening in the Burke.
Here's Christian Nava, unleashes one, and just sends it over the crossbar. Does Christian Nava. That was a great interception from Sam Hamilton to really set that attack up. And New Mexico getting close early on.
And that's what, you mentioned it earlier about the press from New Mexico United. They say great interception by Sam Hamilton. The ball works its way out to the right to Nava, and he doesn't need a second invitation. He just thinks, why not? And that woke the crowd up.
Tonight's replay is brought to you by TLC Plumbing. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to home and business service needs. Hodge plays this one up for Echevarria. Switch of play, near side. Here's Anderson. Bruce comes out to pick him up. Maka King plays this one in, and Sawahi gets a touch to it. Tried to hunt it down to save the throw in, but just didn't get there in time. Hodge back into Enriquez now. Cross going into the box. And that one dealt with, I believe it was Kalen Ryden that was marking. Both teams with some good opportunities.
Yeah, and Switchbacks definitely attacking those wide flanks. More earlier on. Now Enriquez, vicious low crosses with a ton of pace on them. Any kind of deflection, whether it's from one of the Switchbacks players or a New Mexico United defender, and that's flying in the back of the net.
It's the North Carolina native Austin Yearwood sticking a boot through that one. Throw in here for Switchbacks. Anderson, Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Just 20 years old. He was loaned to Switchbacks in March of 2021 as part of a group of 5 Rapids players. He's rejoining the team now for the tail end of this 2022 season, making his 5th appearance so far. Chris, there's not many sights like the Lab on a Saturday night.
And that is one of the loudest Magic minutes we've heard for a while. Obviously, it is packed in here. It looks like standing room only, and the crowd is loud.
Christian Nava through on goal, and Christian Nava has just put New Mexico United on top. Christian Nava scoring during the Magic minute. Light the fireworks. The black and yellow are on top.
Out of nothing, there was a little worrying scene at the other end where Caelan Ryden was a little slow to get up, but you can see he's there celebrating with the guys right now. No injury worries. Ball pops out to Christian Nava. A little confusion at the back. Caldwell comes out, doesn't really deal with it. Looks like one of the Switchbacks players is maybe down here, but that little confusion, and Nava just seizes on it and just pokes it home.
Goals are brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. That is the first goal scored at the Lab by Christian Nava. And Chris, you can tell the 14,000 plus on hand here were just waiting for it.
And doubly special for Christian Nava. Not, like you say, the first goal he scored at the Lab in front of this many fans. The roar when that hit the back of the net as well. But the fact he's been, out for the last month plus with an injury as well. What a relief it must be for him being back on the field. Great little poacher's instinct there, where he just kind of pops it past it, and then it's just about desire at that point. It wasn't the prettiest goal he's ever going to score in his life, but it was all about desire.
Christian Nava, 19 years old, an academy product from right here in Albuquerque. He's never going to forget that goal, Chris.
Yeah, it's you remember your first professional goal. Obviously, you scored. It was against Phoenix Rising, right, on that evening over at UNM. But I'm pretty sure this one might be top of his list because of how many people are here tonight for, and possibly it could be a really important goal as well.
Now I'll have to get a fact check on this one, but I believe that may be the first time that New Mexico have ever scored at home during a Magic minute.
Brave statement.
I believe that is the case. We'll have to, again, get a double check on that, but as it stands right now, Christian Nava, the goal scorer, New Mexico United on top. Here's Anderson. He's back to Edwards. Now Mahoney. Matt Mahoney scored twice this season, has Mahoney, making his 32nd appearance for Switchbacks. This is Echevarria looking to answer back, and Tambakis lays out to grab that one.
Yep. Great reaction by the Switchbacks there, straight away trying to put New Mexico under pressure. They say the most dangerous moment for any team is the 5 minutes after they've scored, because the concentration's not necessarily there. The little kick of adrenaline they get, and you can see New Mexico United just a little loose with the ball again there.
Here's Maka King, former El Paso Locomotive player. Maka King played with El Paso for part of 2020, spent all of 2021 with them. Scored 6 goals for the Locos last season, making his 9th appearance here for Switchbacks tonight. No goals for the Englishman. It's a Bank of America corner kick here for Switchbacks. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. It's the goal scorer, Christian Nava, and you can see what that took out of him. He's just going to his knees, taking a little bit of a breather there. His training staff coming out to have a look at Rashid Tete, who's down in front of some of the field signage there. Gives us time to let you know that the journey to glory begins on Saturday, October 22nd, when the USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense begin on ESPN+. The drama continues leading up to the USL Championship final on Sunday, November 13th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN Deportes. So Zach Prince, you can see assistant coach in front of him, Nate Walzer, just kind of conversing with, looks like Michael Azira, Kalen Ryden out there. Tete able to get up to his feet.
I think Prince and Walzer there are just trying to organise the new setup for defending this corner here, because obviously they're going to be a man down. So an opportunity here for the Switchbacks, because Tete still receiving some treatment, as you can see there.
Flick goes in, near post. Goes out, and it's going to be a goal kick here for Alex Tambakis. So New Mexico, this season here at the Lab, 8 times, Chris, they've scored the opening goal. They've won 4, drawn 3, and lost 1.
It's a good stat, but I remember you gave a stat on Wednesday that meant absolutely nothing, where they hadn't won after being behind at halftime. So I'm going to take that stat that you just told me there, and if it's all good with you, I'm going to ignore it for now.
Do with it what you will. As Kiesewetter goes down, draws the free kick. The veteran, the savvy veteran, Jerome Kiesewetter. Hamilton and Mahoney having some words here, the two captains.
Kiesewetter has to be so frustrating to play against, because he knows exactly what he's doing. He's using all his experience. He just tangles his leg into an area where he knows he's going to get kicked, or puts his body in an area where he knows he's going to get hit, and feels the pressure. And he just, again, like I say, he just gets that little toe there. He knows that Mahoney's trying to clear the ball, so just literally just gets a toe on the ball and draws that foul. And he does it so often. It won't be, I guarantee it will not be the first time we say that tonight. The last time we say that tonight. That's what I meant.
I know there was a match earlier this season where Kiesewetter came on as a sub with about 30 minutes in the match. He went on to lead all players in the match in fouls drawn in half an hour played. So that tells you exactly what type of veteran he is. Daniel Bruce standing over this free kick. Bruce sends this one in, looking for Azira, and the veteran Michael Azira has it snatched from right above him from Caldwell, and Caldwell springs Galina free. The Congolese footballer Mishi Galina, 12 goals on the season, scored a hat-trick against Locomotive last time out. And for Switchbacks, Chris, it's not like New Mexico, who've played twice last weekend, again over the midweek. Switchbacks, they haven't played since October 5th. So they're coming off 10 days rest.
Yeah, it's 10 days rest, but I mean, so that can do one of two things. It could either be, you know, like if you're on a roll, you want to keep on playing, but the other side of it as well is it's not just that New Mexico United had to play 3 games this week, it was the Sunday. That just added an extra layer to that. The Sunday in San Diego was a travel, then back for the rescheduled game against Los Dos, followed by this important game. But unfortunately, it doesn't look too good for Rashid Tete here. His body language seems to suggest that his night might be done already.
Training staff for New Mexico making their way out once again. It looks like Will Seymour is getting ready to head on for New Mexico. Seymour was one of the changes that we saw from the midweek. Seymour has been starting at right back lately, getting perhaps a rest here this evening from Zach Prince, with the Ghanaian Rashid Tete getting the start instead. But the Colorado Springs native Will Seymour called into action here just 30 minutes in.
He's had a great season his first year with New Mexico United. Will Seymour, he's been Mr. Reliable no matter where he's been asked to play, whether it's, you know, centre back in a back 3, right of the back 3. He's played the 6, he's played right back in a back 4. He hasn't played up top, that's all I can say. He hasn't played up front yet, but scored some important goals as well. He's a dangerous player from set pieces too.
So Switchbacks back on the attack. Elvis Amo tries to go with the back heel flick. New Mexico deal with the danger. Anderson playing it in near side here, and it takes a hop in front of Tempakis, but no issue there for the Greek goalkeeper. Alexi Soahi. Here's the Oklahoma native, Caitlin Ryden. Connects with Austin Yearwood. Yearwood wrapping up his 4th season here in black and yellow. Been with the club since their inception. As Soahi chased down there by Lindley. Soahi making his 25th appearance for New Mexico here tonight. Scored once on the season. '31st minute here at the Lab. New Mexico on top. It was Christian Nava scoring his 2nd goal of this season in the 21st minute. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here on hand. It's blackout night here at the Lab. 14,000 plus expected as New Mexico hosting Switchbacks to close out the regular season. Both of these clubs are playoff bound. And in a certain scenario, Chris, these two may be matching up later this season as Soahi is going to see yellow.
That was neat little interchange there. Enriquez, Mahoney, Springs Galena, I think it is there, and Soahi just knows he's in trouble, so just takes him out there and hopes that the referee shows a little bit of leniency, but sees yellow already, so it's fairly early on, half an hour in there, and he's already got a yellow card. He's got to watch his step for the rest of the way here.
32nd minute yellow card shown to Alexi Soahi. Yellow cards are brought to you by Wendy's. New Mexico United fans, now that there's a yellow card been shown tonight, make sure to go to participating Wendy's locations tomorrow and receive a free breakfast sandwich with a qualifying purchase. So Switchbacks with a free kick here in a dangerous position as they look to equalize. Nishi Galena drew the foul. It's going to be Lindley to deliver. And Lindley, the former SAFC man, made 31 appearances for San Antonio last season. Bounced around has Lindley. He's been on a different team every season since 2018. With Orlando City of MLS, where he made 3 appearances. Made an appearance in USL Championship in 2018 as well for St. Louis. Spent 2019 in Memphis, 2020 in Indy. As I mentioned, 2021 in San Antonio. Now plying his trade up in the beautiful mountains of Colorado Springs.
Both teams being a little cheap in possession there, and you could see the frustration. I think it was Anderson there who just swiped the ball away, but the frustration where, let's say, I think Austin Yearwood was the first recipient of a bad pass, and Anderson after that, and just swiped the ball away and disgusted his teammate.
Amo looking to connect there with Anderson. Saying it's a throw-in for New Mexico. Christian Nava comes out, and Christian Nava draws the foul. Tristan Hodge stuck his foot out. New Mexico opts to play quickly here off the restart. Rivas into the box. Here's Seymour. The substitute, Will Seymour. Finds Hamilton. Back to Ryden now. Austin Yearwood able to retain possession. Connects with Bruce. Daniel Bruce. That one's headed away by Mahoney. And Bruce is going to be called for the foul. Michael Edwards, 21-year-old, part of the Colorado Rapids system. Made 12 appearances for Rapids, 2 in the MLS Next Pro League, where he scored 1 goal this season. Edwards spent last season with Switchbacks, 24 appearances for the club. He scored twice, making his 7th appearance for Switchbacks this season here tonight. Azira goes back to Sawahi, and Azira is run over.
Just unceremoniously by Lindley there. Just, I think the switch by New Mexico United there was terrific. You know, just kind of opened up Switchbacks. The one knock, I'd say maybe Azira could have played forwards there. It was a little too easy, but then it's almost the frustration. It just drew Lindley in there, and nothing's really happened. Obviously, still plenty of time in the game, but showing his frustration already and just shoving Azira in the back there. The easiest call the referee will have to make all night.
Fiesta Auto Group free kick here for New Mexico. All the way back to Jeff Caldwell, the former Hartford Athletic man. Played here against New Mexico for Hartford last season. Rivas was looking to play a through ball there for Kiesewetter, and again the press from New Mexico causing problems for Switchback.
You can see there the youngster Nava just begging Seymour from right back there to join him in the press and get nice and tight there to Enriquez, and he does, and a little too tight, and gives away the free kick there. But it's great to see that, like I say, the youngster just kind of orchestrating the press there from up high.
Anderson looking to play a little 1-2 with Amo there. Turns it over, does Amo. Kiesewetter for Rivas, looking to find Nava, and that one's cut out by Hodge. Yearwood's going to be called for the foul.
Yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot in that one there. It was Amo was played into trouble there by his teammate, and Yearwood got a great jump on the pass and got there as the ball was, but maybe went through the back of him a little bit, but I think the ball was there to be won.
Enriquez plays this forward for Galena. Galena muscled off by Seymour, and another foul called as Mishi Galena down on the pitch.
Not the first time Galena's been down and stayed down after a tackle, is it? And yeah, I think Seymour had, just used his body really, really well there. And I mean, it was a hard tackle, but it wasn't necessarily a foul in my mind.
So score update for you there. Top right corner, San Antonio have battled back in this one as OC jumped out to an early lead in the 25th minute. Alternating goals sees that one tied at 2 apiece. RGV still up on 10-man Monterey Bay 2-0. This is essentially a very short corner being played here. Goes off Azira. Second ball played in. back for Enriquez. Enriquez does well to get around Azira. Cross goes in, and it's headed away by Kalen Ryden.
Enriquez there just did a little elastico and just absolutely did up. I think it was Azira or Sawahi. And yeah, just absolutely did him up there. Put another vicious ball. The crosses. Switchbacks doing really well, getting to the end line and putting some absolutely wicked balls into the 6-yard box, just begging to be tapped home. But for New Mexico United, luckily there's been no one home so far.
Back to Edwards. Goes back to Lindley from challenge from Hamilton. Here's King. As that one cut out by Sawahi. Enriquez now. Enriquez cuts inside. Ball scooped forward. Seymour all over that for New Mexico. Seymour picked up a 44th minute yellow card last match against Los Dos here on Wednesday night. That a 3-2 victory for the black and yellow. Bank of America corner kick coming up here. Goes back post. It's headed away by Alexi Sawahi. Falls to Enriquez, who unleashes one. And what a parry there from Alex Tambakis. Enriquez got every bit of that.
Yeah, and Tambakis, great goalkeeping there. He didn't take any risks by trying to hold it at all. Just got it away from danger. And when he parried the shot, it went 18, 20 yards away from the goal. So there was no chance of that second opportunity.
These two teams played earlier this season, August 27th at Widener Field. It was a 1-0 win for Switchbacks on the score sheet that day, as he was many times this season. 39th minute goal from Haji Berry. That was the difference between the two sides. Switchbacks picking up just their third win in club history against New Mexico. Black and yellow with 8 wins in all competitions against Switchbacks. Just one draw between the two sides, Chris, which I thought was fairly interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and just looking back, or just thinking back to that game that you're talking about back in August, it was disappointing from a New Mexico United standpoint. Although it was only 1-0, and on paper that sounds like a really close game. New Mexico United would be disappointed. They really didn't lay a finger on Switchbacks. It wasn't until the end of the game where they actually started causing any kind of issues. The territory was very much with the Switchbacks for the majority of the game.
Hamilton trying to win the ball back there, wins the throw-in. New Mexico looking to win back-to-back games, Chris, for the first time since mid-June.
And that's the balancing act that all the teams right now are trying to work with SAFC. Going into the playoffs on an absolute tear again. I wouldn't say it was a wobble, but didn't win in a couple of games, and now they've won 4, potentially even 5 in a row. Same as New Mexico United.
Seymour goes in. Daniel Bruce in the box. Daniel Bruce makes it 2-0. The Englishman has put New Mexico up by 2 here, in the black and yellow are rocking here at the lab, Chris.
So, like I say, 2 players who struggled for different reasons. Daniel Bruce has been on the bench for the last few games. Christian Nava through injury. Both on the score sheet tonight. Both nudging the coaching staff, saying they want to be involved in the playoffs here.
Second goal of the season for the Englishman, Daniel Bruce. And what a time for it to come. New Mexico with the insurance goal here just before the half.
And it was a composed finish as well. There was a lot going on around him. Ball just finds him in the 18-yard box there. And has a couple of bites at the cherry. Little pressure from the Switchbacks defense. But again, it's another one where it almost seems like there was a little confusion in there, and Switchbacks just need to maybe clear their lines. But as you say, it just finds him in there. A couple of defenders have a bite at the cherry there. Anderson was the last one that maybe had a chance to stop the shot. And decent strike with his weaker foot there. just fits well. Keeper really. Caldwell doesn't have a chance, but yeah, great time. And what a time to score as well, just before halftime.
Goals are brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And you want to talk about a foundation of trust, Daniel Bruce, exactly that for this club here in his 4th season. One of 4 players that have been here since day one, Chris. A fan favorite for so many reasons. Obviously, what he does off the pitch, the effort that he puts forth on the pitch. He doesn't score a whole lot for this club, but when he does, the roof just comes off over here.
Yeah, and it's a fan favorite name to shout as well, right? Because you know the Bruce chant, but that's what he does off the field as well. He means so much to this organisation for his community work as well. So yeah, definitely, like you say, a fan favorite and just an all-round good guy.
Switchbacks facing a 2-0 deficit. Here's Amo, and Tambakis reaches out to grab that one. Switchbacks looking to pull one back. We're officially into stoppage time here. 3 minutes of New Mexico Pinon coffee stoppage. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. Elvis Amo picked up by the goal scorer, Daniel Bruce. Chris, this is the 2nd consecutive regular season finale that Daniel Bruce has scored in. It was on the score sheet against Real Monarchs last season, the regular season finale, in which was a 3-1 victory here at the Lab for the Black and Yellow.
You're just the man with the stats tonight, aren't you? You love it. But I tell you what, I mean, scored last year against Real Monarchs. I believe going into the final game, they had no chance. New Mexico United had no chance of making the playoffs by that point. This goal will mean a lot more to them. Like I say, that insurance goal, as you called it, Nava and Bruce have lifted the spirits of the fans and made sure that this packed house are absolutely buzzing going into the halftime break here.
It's just 1 minute left of the minimum of 3 stoppage minutes. The Englishman Daniel Bruce out of Warrington, England, scoring goals across the pond here in black and yellow. Daniel Bruce, that is his 7th professional goal that he scored here this evening. All of those coming over the last 4 seasons here for New Mexico. Scored twice in 2019, didn't score in the half season during 2020. He bagged 3 goals last year, and he's on 2 now after scoring just a few minutes ago. That is the end of the first half here, Chris. In New Mexico United, they know coming into this one they needed a win, taking care of business early on.
Yeah, and that's all they can do, right? They can't worry about what might happen later on. They take care of business, then they get to sit back, relax, and watch what unfolds out in California.
Daniel Bruce, Christian Nava, your goal scorers, the black and yellow, on top of Switchbacks. 2-0, it's halftime. The score brought to you by First Financial Credit Union.
For over 50 years, BIOS has been proudly serving New Mexico. We love being a part of this community and the New Mexico United family, and helping everyone from homeowners to home builders create a space that's both beautiful and practical. Shopping local is about more than getting a great deal. It's about supporting your community, your neighbors, your friends. Visit BIOS in Albuquerque and see how shopping local supports your New Mexico community.
There is a place where there are no roads, no conveyances beyond 2 legs or 4. It's a vast swath of land set aside for adventure, for animals, for nature. We're visitors here in America's first designated wilderness, the Gila.
What's so great about being a Smith's Boost member? Free delivery. Free delivery on the Smith's products you love. Free delivery on the unexpected stuff you need. And best of all, more rewards, like double fuel points on everything you buy. Experience a new level of membership starting as low as $59 a year with Boost by Smith's Rewards.
I hear 'em chat to the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear 'em chat with the boys, man so tough, but mans keep walking. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch man, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west, I take on the east.
Blackout night here at the lab. The black and yellow on top of their rival Switchbacks 2-0. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined by Chris Hurst. And Chris, it's halftime. Brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. So we pack it out here at the lab for one last time here this regular season. Let's get right into things with the standings. Well, Chris, lots on the line tonight, primarily in the 4 and 5 spot here. For those interested in this one, New Mexico win and a Sacramento loss would see those two flip. The black and yellow would host Sac Republic in the first round of the playoffs. Of course, Sacramento kicking off here in about 2 minutes. So make sure to flip over once our game is done. Check that out. For the news and notes here from around the league, plenty going on. The USL Championship Western Conference playoffs locked in. 5 spots already claimed. San Antonio in first, San Diego Switchbacks, Sacramento, New Mexico rounding out the top 5. New Mexico clinching the playoff spot on Wednesday after beating Galaxy, and El Paso losing. That, as we mentioned, the first time New Mexico able to clinch a playoff spot prior to the final match day. And then, as we mentioned, New Mexico could potentially clinch a home playoff here tonight. Scoreboard from around the league here, upcoming schedule. These ones all going on right now as we are giving you some updates between these games. There's games yet to go, as you see here. Sac Republic, San Diego kicking off here in just a couple minutes. A couple of other games going on later tonight. Rising going to be taking on, it looked like, didn't catch who that was actually, as we have a quick look here at the scoreboard from the midweek. New Mexico beating Los Dos 3-2. Miami FC beating Detroit City 1-0. Tulsa blanking Monterey Bay 2-0. And Birmingham Legion beating Indy 11 3-1. Let's have a look here at our team of the week, presented by eFootball. Mishi Galina headlining as your player of the week. See a few Western Conference players in there from RGV and Fieldberg and Torres. We're going to step aside for just a moment. I'm going to catch my breath. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about
Stop
today when we go
Yo,
topics.
roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
Unbelievable! What a goal! What a moment! The ultimate upset when it mattered the most!
Back here at the lab, Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst, New Mexico on top of Colorado Springs, 2-0. And what is a must-win for the black and yellow? They want to have a chance at hosting a playoff match. Let's go ahead and jump into our first half highlights, brought to you by Will Ferguson and Associates. Chris, starting things off early, it looked like Switchbacks maybe grabbing the lead with this one.
Yeah, and Daniel Bruce just ended up just doing enough to put him off there, but it was a warning shot for New Mexico United, and there's been a couple from those wide areas.
And for New Mexico, Christian Nava scoring his first goal at the lab, opening the scoring in the 20th minute.
Yeah, when it happened, I said desire. It was his desire in there, but honestly, looking at it now, it's more composure. Like, there was a lot going on there to put him off. He's getting grabbed, and he's just so calm in that moment there, and just pokes it home. Great to see him score in front of an absolute packed house.
Christian Nava scoring his second goal here tonight on the young season. The old season, I should say, not the young season in this. Took a deflection for Tambakis all over it. Tambakis really hasn't been troubled a whole lot tonight.
No, it's been a lot of this, shots from distance, and you know Tambakis is wanting to make amends for the snafu on Wednesday night. But yeah, he's had a couple of shots from distance. There's been some crosses that have fizzed across the 6-yard box, but other than that, he's been untroubled. You're right.
Furthermore, here for New Mexico, this from Daniel Bruce. Talk about staying composed in the box. Left-footed shot. Chris just laces it past the keeper.
That's the right word again. Yeah, like you say, it's very similar, except the ball's on the ground there, but very similar in terms of defenders for Switchbacks will be really disappointed. They had a number of opportunities to clear the danger there, and Bruce just, sends one for a hot dog. I think it's Anderson, and then just absolutely thumps it home with his left foot.
Daniel Bruce scoring in the regular season finale for this second consecutive season here at the lab. That's how the first half is played out so far. We're gonna have a look here at the first half stats before we head to break. Is New Mexico losing the possession battle, Chris, however, leading when it comes to the scoreline.
Yeah, and that's the most important one, and that's really, first half, that's probably the message from Zach Prince's job done in terms of the first half there. Really made it where Switchbacks are going to have to come out and try and create and bomb some players forward if they want to get back into this game.
And with that, we're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be back on the other side of this with the second half.
For over 45 years, we have been roofing New Mexico. Even though you may not know it, you have been covered by one of our roofs at some point. Now we're bringing the same high-quality craftsmanship that protects New Mexico's commercial buildings into the residential marketplace. Get a commercial quality roof on your home today. National Roofing. Local company, national name.
Call 883-3000 or visit nationalroofing.com.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive,
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story.
8 a.m.
Coming up next as well.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Game time.
This is a story about creativity, education, entrepreneurship, and cookies.
Well, mostly about cookies. Want to try one?
Kristen, where'd you learn to bake?
My grandma was my first teacher. She told me it was okay to be creative and take risks.
Like what?
Like green chili cookies. I haven't quite cracked the code on those yet.
Bummer. Was it a risk to open a bakery?
Definitely. But CNM gave me the skills to turn that passion into a reality.
That's amazing. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibilities.
Back here at the lab, it's blackout night. 14,000 expected here to witness this matchup between New Mexico United and Switchbacks. The black and yellow on top 2-0 by way of a 20th minute goal from Christian Nava and then a second from Daniel Bruce in the 44th minute. So Chris, we've got just a couple minutes before our second half comes out here. If you're Brendan Burke in the Switchbacks dressing room, what's the message to your guys?
It's a good question, Tyler. I mean, obviously, New Mexico United done a really good job of keeping the Switchbacks, at arm's length there. So it'll be really interesting to see if there's any changes in personnel, or maybe Burke gives it, 10 minutes in the second half, 10, 15 minutes around the 60-minute mark, see if anything changes after half-time. But, they've had a bit of joy down either flank, getting to the end line, but then it's about bodies in the box. They've really been aiming for just Galena. There's been that one guy to aim for in the box. So if they do get in those areas in the channels, can they flood the box and get more bodies in there, have a chance of putting one of those chances in?
And Zach Prince, I'm just going to assume the message is just go out, finish this game. Let's see this out with 3 points tonight.
Exactly. Like I say, it's been pretty solid at the back. I think the temptation, especially with New Mexico United at home, has always been, when they've been winning, to sit back, get deeper and deeper and deeper. You really can't do that against an offense that is as potent as the Switchbacks. So I think his message would be, go get the third. Go get the third, and then everything that's being said in the other locker room at halftime here means absolutely nothing if you go on and get that next goal.
So New Mexico, again, can host their first playoff game in club history with a win here tonight, and they need San Diego to beat Sac Republic. That match actually kicking off here just a couple of minutes ago, I believe, as we'll do our best to provide you with some score updates. Yeah, in the second minute, that one is. So once our match finishes, if this result holds, all eyes will be on that Sac Republic San Diego Loyal matchup. Zach Prince. Kristen, this is new here. We've never, from my recollection, seen Zach Prince come out of the tunnel from the dressing room and talk to his squad in the middle of the pitch after halftime.
Yeah, and it just shows the gravity of the situation right now. Again, all New Mexico United can do is take care of their side of the deal and then sit back and see what happens out in Cali. But yeah, it just shows. And and it's funny, whenever I see a coach talking to a team out on the pitch, I have really bad feelings about when Hull City in the Premier League, Phil Brown did it at halftime when they were 4-0 down, I think it was at halftime, and it wasn't well received, let's say. I think he was fired about a week later. But obviously a very different situation here. This is more about, making sure that the message from the change room is transferred out onto the pitch as well.
And this is a really cool moment to see the veteran Jerome Kiesewetter. He's played for the United States men's national team, coaching up Christian Nava there down on the side. And early update out of Sacramento Republic with an early goal on San Diego Loyal. So Sac Republic up 1-0 in the 4th minute out in California right now. And check that. As I was giving you that update, Sac Republic have scored again. It's 2-0, 4 minutes in. Out in California, so New Mexico United fans will not be very excited to hear about that, as Loyal already down 2-0 to Republic. And again, New Mexico need a San Diego win tonight, coupled with a win of their own, to host a home playoff match. So for Switchbacks, hearing of a substitution, midfielder Zach Zandy checking in. Zandy, the 26-year-old, 5 goals in 16 appearances on the season. Rivas is dragged down there in front of the official. And Rivas is shown a yellow card. So 46th-minute yellow card for Sergio Rivas.
It was an interesting one because it seemed like King was the one who was more instigating. Obviously, Rivas was trying to get in the way to slow things down. Just annoying, but in terms of the aggressor, it definitely looked like King was the one there.
Ball going into the box. It's met initially by Sawahi. Right in there to head it out of the box. Maka King. Yearwood is there.
King and Rivas, this is really worth watching. They are just going at each other every single opportunity early on in the early goings in the second half here. They just had another little run in, and King is making sure that the referees keep an eye on it. So yeah, it's worth watching.
Back to Edwards. This is Anderson. Down goes Echevarria. Fiesta Auto free kick coming up. This is Mahoney. That's Zandy, the substitute. Looking to make the run, and Tambakis has to come and grab this one as Elvis Amo making the run.
You love that from your goalkeeper there, and you can see the applauded by Sawahi. Just takes the pressure off the back four. It's quick off his line, snuffs out the danger, and it gives his back four a little bit of a breather because Switchbacks have made a really good start to the second half.
Kiesewetter goes down and draws the foul once again.
I did say it wouldn't be the only time we said that in the first half, right? And I'm sure, like I say, the more pressure New Mexico United absorb, the less they get the ball forward, the more Kiesewetter is going to earn his money tonight, drawing fouls like that.
Another Fiesta Auto Group free kick coming up here, courtesy of Jerome Kiesewetter. Kiesewetter for New Mexico this season. He's been a journeyman over the last handful of years. Provided some big moments for the black and yellow this season. Scored twice in 18 USL Championship appearances. Here's Bruce.
Well worked.
Nava wins the throw in here for New Mexico, and actually they're going to say it was a handball. So free kick. Seymour boots this one long. "50 minutes gone by here at the Lab. Regular season finale between New Mexico United and Switchbacks FC. Christian Nava, Daniel Bruce, the goal scorers so far this evening. Echevarria called for the foul. instead. Bruce was cut out by Anderson. Now connects with Elvis Amo. Playing here at the lab as well. Switchbacks.
It's been a pretty poor last 5 minutes here, I'd say. Kind of subdued a little bit, looking for a little bit of excitement. That's what Seymour, I think, was trying to do. The game's certainly lacking a little bit of quality right now.
Taken down by Hamilton. Foul is called tonight. And as always, the black and yellow faithful have outdone themselves once again here, Chris. 14,000.
I mean, wow. It's unbelievable. It just felt different tonight. The atmosphere was electric pre-game. You know, walking in, the Switchbacks fan.
Championship in with Louisville and Tampa back on August 13th, drawing 14,673 out at Lynn Family Stadium. So hats off to Lou City. Highest attended match this season. This is Mishi Galina. Plays it off. Ball takes a tip, and Tambakis is run into. And no, the offside flag goes up. It stays 2-0 to New Mexico.
I'm not sure. The AR is certainly flagging for offside there, but I'm not sure if it's just, you know, offside.
Shoulder. We'll get one more look here. So there it is. Amo throws the shoulder and then finishes. Although not a whole lot to finish in that case. A yellow card been issued to the New Mexico United technical area. Not quite sure who it was shown to, but it was shown to somebody down there.
Obviously, New Mexico United still need to do their part of the deal here, or seal the deal here. And yeah, but I mean, what a finish it was for the goal as well, though. I just happen to have it on in the background and watch the replay there.
Daniel Bruce through on goal. Bruce on a brace and has it stopped by Caldwell. And actually, the offside flag is up here on the near side. The Englishman looking to add to his goal tally here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, and Caldwell didn't know that it was offside at the time and still pulled off a great save because Daniel...
Of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Make sure you have ESPN Plus. USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense just around the corner, Chris. Both of these teams playing here tonight have punched their tickets into the postseason. Just waiting to see how the dominoes fall and who and where they're going to be playing. So you see some score updates, top right-hand corner of your screen. Looks like a draw going to play out between San Antonio and Orange County. RGV up 3-0 on 10-man Monterey Bay. Here's Macca King, connects with Hodge. Edwards. Yearwood with the sliding challenge and gets a roar from the crowd.
Yeah, he had to get the timing absolutely right there. He read it really, really well, Austin Yearwood. And then ended up in another tackle with Anderson. He was just trying to poke the ball down the line to Daniel Bruce, who was wide open if he could have got it down there.
Austin Yearwood, just one professional goal to his name. And it just so happened to be the goal of the year winner last season. That came on this pitch against San Antonio. We're going to see a substitution here from Switchbacks. It's going to see Jimmy Ockford entering, also Carlton Belmar as well. We're also going to see Isaiah Foster enter as well. He replaces Tristan Hodge. 22nd appearance on the season for Foster. He's scored once so far, the 19-year-old. Those substitutions brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. It's Rivas and Ryden both on this free kick here. It's going to be Kalen Ryden. Ryden plays it near side to Seymour. Seymour spent the last 2 seasons playing in the Irish top flight. Spent last year at Thin Harps. He scored twice. The Ugandan retired international, Michael Azira. Those your 2 goal scorers there this evening, Christian Nava, Daniel Bruce. Nava bagging his in the 20th minute, Bruce in the 44th. It's Daniel Bruce.
Yeah, Kalen Ryden just kind of searched that one out. Overhit, but it turns out it was absolutely perfect because Kalen Ryden was there and connected with it, and if he'd missed it...
Side for Anderson. He's going to play Amo. R. Caldwell has to Ockford, Foster, and Belmar all entering the match. Here's Anderson looking to connect, and Seymour plays it out. Anderson's second attempt. Cross goes.
Seymour, the last one, so about a minute ago, had to win that ball where he just flicked it. Some beautiful crosses into the box. Really.
Over 26 minutes plus stoppage time. Run off by Mishi Galina and comes. Zira does well to intercept that pass, and a miscommunication.
Looks like maybe the New Mexico. It looks like the coaching staff at New Mexico are going to counter that with some changes of their own.
For the black and yellow, Will Seymour replacing Rashid Tete in the 30th. Swartz entering. Sandoval maybe down there as well. Switchbacks on the attack, looking to pull one back here. Cross goes in, and Sawahi.
Desperation does weird things to players. Like they're claiming a handball. It clearly absolutely smacked him in the mouth. He got it completely wrong, the clearance. Took a wild swing at it, Sawahi, and the ball just pops up and hits him right on the mouth.
With the timely challenge, and that's what
Of the last couple of seasons right there. That was a perfectly timed tackle that he had to.
Maka King looking to play Foster through. And it's a great turn from Christian Nava.
Mexico United just can't get out right now. For as quick as they're clearing it, switchbacks cheating a little bit now. We're just keeping 5 guys high as well, the switchbacks, as they put
in the throw in here. CPAs and advisors, there's no substitution for integrity. So the subs that we mentioned to you earlier, Harry Swartz, Devin Sandoval, both entering the match for New Mexico, replacing Sergio Rivas. Didn't quite see who the second player was.
Is that Justin Portillo, maybe about a couple?
Also had a change. It was the 34-year-old Aaron Wheeler. We're going to have to wait just a moment as Swartz.
There's a lot going on over there.
And so Michael Azira. So the feeling it's going to be, again, all of these substitutions brought integrity. Devin Sandoval scored the first playoff goal in United history.
How he's performed tonight, but Zach Prince and the coach ball and therefore advance the ball up the field, and it's just been so the changes again, hopefully creating a little more.
Sandoval looks to flick this for Bruce, comes back to Sandoval. Swartz now. Harry Swartz had a brace in 5 minutes on the midweek, looking to add to his goal total. Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico.
And you could see there his eyes lit up. There was half a chance there, and he just caught the switchbacks defense napping a little bit and forced the corner, but immediate effect by the substitutions there.
Justin Portillo, the substitute who just entered the match for New Mexico, is headed over to take the corner kick. It'll be interesting to see how Portillo does, being his first action off the bench. It goes in, and it's dealt with. It looked like Anderson got first contact. Bruce looking to play this one in, does Daniel Bruce. Ryden. There's Kalen Ryden now, playing the cross in. And Ryden eventually concedes the goal kick. Again, score updates, top right corner, Sac Republic still up 3-0 on San Diego Loyal. Full time between San Antonio and OC there. RGV putting up a 4 spot on 10-man Monterey Bay. It's Will Seymour. The 30-year-old Will Seymour. 30th appearance this evening for New Mexico. Just 1 goal to his name. Seymour sends that one across the face of goal.
I think a little ambitious, especially it was a weird angle to hit it with his right foot as well. It was always naturally going to bend away from the goal there, but it just kind of opened up for him, so he thought, why not?
Bruce connects with Sandoval, who one-times it, and on the cleanup, Caldwell has to make another save, and he does. Devin Sandoval looking to score his first goal on the season. Great work defensively there from Switchbacks.
Yeah, Caldwell, Nava showing a little inexperience there when the ball popped out. It was such an early shot by Devin Sandoval. Caldwell couldn't get his feet set, so he could only parry the chance, and the opportunity was there for Nava to hit it first time. Instead, he tried to dribble it round the goalkeeper, and you hope that chance doesn't hurt New Mexico United by the end of the game here.
Foster able to get away from Harry Swartz. Here's Echevarria. Zandy now. Zach Zandy taken out by Sam Hamilton. And a free kick coming up here. Yellow card shown to the captain, Sam Hamilton.
I don't think Sam Hamilton can have too many complaints there. He was done up basically, and just put an end to it and allowed New Mexico United to get bodies behind the ball. But this is a free kick in a very dangerous position. It's far enough out where Switchbacks, it looks like, is it Anderson? Anderson's about to take it. He'll fancy his chances of getting it up and over the wall and back down again. So Tam Backus is going to have to be on guard here.
Anderson, just this season, 13 appearances for Rapids, 2. In MLS Next Pro, he scored once. He's got 2 senior team appearances for Rapids in the MLS, no goals, and 4 appearances for Switchbacks. Here's Anderson. Strikes it, and it goes off the wall. Swartz heads it out, and it's a Bank of America corner kick. No, actually, it looks like they're going to say it's a goal kick. So offside was the call. "75 minutes gone by here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand for what is more than likely the final time here at home this season for the Black and Yellow, as Sac Republic up 3-0 currently on San Diego. If you're just joining us, New Mexico needed a win tonight plus a Sacramento loss, and they would have been in line to host the first playoff game in club history. However, early on, Sac Republic, well, they scored twice in the opening 4 minutes, Chris. Didn't even give that one a chance.
Well, if you are a New Mexico United fan, you are certainly hoping that the old cliche of a game of 2 halves really plays out in California. And obviously playing San Diego, they put 3 up on New Mexico United 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's obviously the hope. That's the glimmer that the New Mexico United faithful will be hanging on to right now.
Do you one better? San Diego put up 3 goals on New Mexico 6 days ago.
Was it really?
It was on Sunday.
That's a good point.
Games coming hard and fast for New Mexico at this point in the season, where they had a reschedule. So essentially, you look at since the 5th, New Mexico was originally supposed to play then, Chris. They came out, went through warm-ups, played 7 minutes, had that one scrapped, had to go on the road to San Diego, 6-goal shootout on Sunday, right back here for Los Dos on Wednesday, and now up on Switchbacks 2-0, all within the span of 10 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough stretch, and leading up to that, they had the 10-day break that you were just saying the Switchbacks had as well. Just looking at, last 5 games, teams going into the playoffs. Switchbacks are probably the team that are going in. They're kind of stumbling into the playoffs maybe, especially if Sacramento do pick up a win tonight. New Mexico United would go into the playoffs undefeated in 5. For a while, it looked like it was a little bit doom and gloom, but that's not a bad little record to go into the playoffs with.
Switchbacks picking up 1 win over their last 5, that in their last match. A 4-1 win against El Paso Locomotive down at Southwest University Park. Mishi Galina with a hat trick that evening. He assisted the 4th goal as well.
And if tonight holds and they put up another loss, That's, 3 losses and a tie before that win against El Paso, then another loss. That's not great form going in there. But talking about the 6-goal thriller out in San Diego, New Mexico United, 6 goals in the last 2 games against Los Dos and San Diego. In the previous 7 games combined, they'd only scored 5 goals total. And 2 more goals tonight. It's almost like maybe Zach Prince and the coaching staff have found a little formula where they're a little more dangerous going forwards.
Well, and I think it's important to note tonight as well that no Amando Moreno, no Chris Wehan. They scored both of these goals while their leading scorer, Justin Portillo, who also leads the club in assists as well, was on the bench. So production coming from not the usual suspects this evening. Yearwood gets down to the end line, plays the cross in. Seymour trying to get in front. He does. No appeals for penalties. They play on here. But, yeah, Chris, scoring 3 goals in back-to-back matches where they hadn't scored more than 3. But once prior this season, that was in that 7-0 win over Phoenix Rising. Again, for New Mexico, things starting to click. And that's what they say, right? It doesn't matter where you're at in the playoffs. As long as you get in, as long as you can start gelling, things coming together at the right time. Here's Wheeler. As that shot attempt blocked by Ryden. Hamilton comes in. Wheeler still battling. And goes into Tambakis, and he's all over it.
Kalen Ryden is not happy, just having a little word there with Wheeler. He ended up in a heap in his own 18-yard box there. And just having a little word, so that's another one to keep an eye on. There's been some pretty feisty challenges tonight, I'd say. There's definitely no love lost between the two teams.
Daniel Bruce goes down. You can hear the roar of the crowd, and immediately you can see some of the United players trying to make their way over. A yellow card is shown to Sebastian Anderson.
Seems like a while ago that you said that he'd done a couple of fouls in a row there, but that was, again, unceremoniously very close to, I think it was Lindley in the first half did the same to, I can't remember who it was over there. Austin Yearwood maybe, but just shoved them into the track and the gravel over there. I bet that feels good.
So Justin Portillo, Christian Nava conversing over the ball here. Fiesta Auto free kick for New Mexico. 80th minute here at the Lab. It's blackout night. New Mexico on top here of Switchbacks. Christian Nava, Daniel Bruce, your goal scorers. Portillo. Caldwell punches it away. Handled by Zandy. Nava doing the work defensively, keeping the pressure on. And they're going to say a handball against New Mexico. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Switchbacks looking to pull one back here. That one blocked by Ryden. Falls to Anderson. Amo. To Anderson again. Nava. Crowd at the Lab starting to come alive here, Chris. What is, again, more than likely the final 10-minute stretch at home for the black and yellow this season. Unless, you never know, an upset happens in the playoffs. Foul's going to be called on Kalen Ryden. Fiesta Auto free kick here for Switchbacks. They trail 2-0 here. 82nd minute. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand here at the lab. Joined by 14,519 spectators, some of which making the trip down from Colorado Springs to support the Switchbacks. When it headed towards goal, Tambakis sure hands.
Wheeler is a very large target to aim for, and he just gets a little help up off the shoulders of Caelan Ryden, I think it was there, and he jumps early where it means that Ryden can't even challenge really, because if he does, and he's all over his back. But Tambakis sees it all the way and pretty comfortable in the end.
Daniel Bruce on a brace is Daniel Bruce. Norman, Oklahoma native Caelan Ryden draws the foul. Austin Yearwood looking to connect with Sandoval. That one cut out by Anderson. Swords plays this back to Nava. Will Seymour. Seymour crosses in. Christian Nava did not miss that one by much. Aldisamo decides to pull this one back. And, you know, Chris, we've seen a lot of changes here from both sides this evening, and it was somewhat to be expected. Brendan Burke, the week leading up to this one, he did say that they would have some planned rotations and that everyone would get a chance to see if they're able to prove themselves, get some playing time in the first round of the playoffs. So, and obviously for Zach Prince, making 7 changes from the midweek. That's their most from one match to another in the USL Championship this season.
And it's like you said, I mean, Daniel Bruce proved his worth in front of goal. Christian Nava, again, we said it in the first half, just giving Zach Prince and the other coach and staff at New Mexico United a little nudge saying, we're still here and we still want to be involved when it comes to playoff time next week.
Sandoval battling over in the corner. Foul going to be called on Will Seymour. Anderson over to Edwards now. Foster plays this one in, looking for Amo. Anderson able to track it down. Wheeler in the box, and he sends it over the bar.
I didn't see that one back. I think it might have just clipped the top of the crossbar, just as it went through there. But see the pressure from Yearwood as it comes across the 6-yard box just did enough to rush Anderson's cross. And yeah, New Mexico United just doing enough there. This is an interesting sub. Daniel Bruce going off with Josh Suggs here. because Austin Yearwood looks like he's dead on his feet right now. He's just done 2, maybe 3 full-length sprints of the pitch in a row there, and he looks like he's just feeling those a little bit right now.
The substitution brought to you by RADW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. It's Josh Suggs who gets the captain's armband from Sam Hamilton. Josh Suggs out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. One of the all-time leaders when it comes to minutes played here in the USL Championship. Dealt with some injuries this season, has Suggs, but he's come back strong here this week. He started and played most of the match on Wednesday. Did the last few minutes here to close out the regular season at the lap. Looked like, I believe that might have been, is it Swartz that crashed into one of the photographers down on the sideline, on the end line.
Wouldn't mind seeing that snap. He took one just before the collision. That might be the one of the match.
Tambakis out to grab that, no problem. Here's Suggs, Las Cruces native. New Mexico in no hurry to continue this one. There you can see Josh Suggs sort of putting a hand on and saying, just wait a little bit, we're good.
I know New Mexico United players are probably loving that, because that is, you know, the MO of a lot of teams that come into this place is potentially score an early goal or have a lead to hang on to, and they just kill the flow of the game and just manage the time really.
Right in with work to do, able to get it over to Sawahi. Foster has that poked away by Seymour. Been over half an hour since Switchbacks last attempted a shot in this game. As you know, New Mexico doing the work defensively here. There's Maka King. Wheeler threw Sawahi to the ground. And no foul called. Into stoppage time we are. 3 minutes of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion.
I think Wheeler's going to take issue with your no shots in the last 30 minutes comment.
That's what the stats tell me. So New Mexico will be packing their bags, getting ready for a road trip. First round of the playoffs, as it seems, with Sac Republic up 3-0 on San Diego Loyal right now. That match at halftime currently. Christian Nava down. A little bit of a cramp there.
It looks like maybe, obviously, he's been out for a little time there, and he's been doing a lot of work defensively over the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. So maybe just feeling the strain a little bit, but great to see him back on the pitch heading into the playoffs. He's the unknown. He's the little thing where teams don't really know how to plan for him because they don't know if he's going to play, and if he does play, they don't know where he's going to play because he can play in a variety of different positions. And when he does get the ball, he's so unpredictable.
Nava back on his feet, moving well. Christian Nava scoring the opening goal here this evening, 20th minute. Really blew the roof off this place. I know we're in an outdoor venue, but you know what I mean.
You had to say that because you knew I was going to pick up on it. Is that
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Portillo pokes this one away, gets it right back. So, New Mexico, as you mentioned, Chris, it looks like they're going to be hitting the road to Sacramento, where the club previously played in the play-in round. Back in 2019, that was the first year of existence for the club. That saw Devin Sandoval score in the opening minute of the match. It was like 14 seconds in, if I remember correctly. After that, it was Sac Republic scoring in stoppage time of the first half. And then the game winner in the 82nd minute. So New Mexico handled business here this evening. And this should be our final kick of this season here at the Lab, Chris. We won't even get to the kick. Full time at the Lab, New Mexico, victorious in front of over 14,500 fans. Christian Nava, the teenager, your goal scorer, along with Daniel Bruce here tonight. And Chris, get your thoughts on the game real quick.
Yeah, job done for New Mexico United. Go into the playoffs with a little bit of momentum.
This is your man of the match, presented by Pepsi. It's Christian Nava, the first New Mexico United Academy player signed to the first team. First New Mexico United Academy player to score for the first team. Daniel Bruce with the play of the match for his goal in the 44th minute. That brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Bruce scoring in the regular season finale here at the Lab for the second consecutive season. The Englishman, and then of course Alex Tambakis, your save of the match, presented by Invigorate Roofing for his saves in the 23rd and 41st minute. He is the all-time clean sheets leader in club history, and he tacked on 8 more this season. We're going to step aside from here at the Lab, and we'll be back in just a moment to wrap things up.
From day one, REDW has been an integral partner and one of the first companies to say yes to the crazy idea of this soccer team that we all love. Because of REDW's belief, support, and expert financial guidance, United is in a better place today. Their focus on community-first initiatives is perfectly aligned with United's ethos. When they say integrity counts, they mean it, and we are forever grateful and thrilled to be partnered with REDW.
Full time here at the Lab. New Mexico United victorious over Switchbacks FC 2-0 here on Blackout Night, the regular season finale. It's the black and yellow punching their tickets into the playoffs earlier this week, Chris, and they needed to get a win here tonight, needed a few more dominoes to fall their way. Let's have a look at the full-time highlights here, presented by Will Ferguson and Associates. Starting things off, it looked like Switchbacks would take the lead early, but instead, it was Christian Nava scoring his second goal of the season.
Yeah, we talked about halftime, just composure there, where the ball's bobbling around. Caldwell comes flying out. He just keeps his cool, creates the chance for himself.
You can see exactly what that meant to the teenager, Christian Nava. That's his first goal that he scored here at the Lab, his second professional goal in black and yellow. And as we mentioned before we went to break, the first player to come through the United Academy and play for the first team. And this, Tambakis mostly troubled from distance tonight.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty comfortable. There was a couple in the second half where Switchbacks had a period about 15-20 minutes where they really started testing the New Mexico United backline and Tambakis. But like you said, from distance, so Tambakis has got to be really happy with his backline.
And for Alex Tambakis, 8 clean sheets. But Daniel Bruce, the Englishman, Chris, once again scoring at the Lab during the regular season finale as he did last year. And you can tell what this means to the Englishman, Daniel Bruce.
Yeah, not completely dissimilar to the Nava goal. Kind of creates it for himself, just keeps his composure, waits for the chance to kind of open up, makes a couple of defenders miss, and yeah, the rest is pops it in the back of the net.
That was the second for New Mexico. That was all they need as Alex Tambakis getting it done throughout the second half. There you see Wheeler. I guess you could call that one a shot. I guess.
I mean, yeah, that wasn't the one I was talking about. That's what you get. But there's another Wheeler header. So when he came on, he was a nuisance. He's a big, powerful guy, and New Mexico United had a lot of trouble dealing with him. And there was another chance later on that we might see where I think he just clipped the crossbar as well. So yeah, he was a handful.
Fireworks display going on here at the Lab. That's why all the lights are off here. So before we get out of here, let's have a look at the full-time stats. New Mexico with the 2 early goals. Switchbacks over 61% possession here tonight, Chris. Just couldn't break through.
Yeah, and it's all about efficiency for New Mexico United. Job was really done in the first half with those 2 goals, and then second half just managed the game.
So New Mexico with back-to-back wins to close out their season, Chris. The first time picking up back-to-back wins since the middle of June. And so as things look, it looks like the black and yellow will be traveling to Sacramento for the first round of the playoffs as we remain to see how things shake out between Republic and Loyal. Republic already up 3-0 on that. So that's going to do it for us here at the Lab this season. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you're one of the Switchback supporters, for everybody here tonight, for Gary Williams, our director, Chris Hurst on color, my name's Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.